This is Mechbay, and thank you for joining me, and welcome to another episode of Mechbay Toy Review. Today we're going to look at the Amazon exclusive Marvel Legends Avengers Age of Ultron 4-pack. This 4-pack includes Thor, Black Widow, Bruce Banner, and Hawkeye. And as you can see, the packaging is very similar to the Target 3-pack that we received last year, as well as the Agent of Shield's 3-pack, except that it's a little wider because obviously you have 4 figures in this set instead of 3. And if you look at the back, basically pretty similar, packaging as well. You just see the pictures of the 4 figures that's included in this set, and a little bit of description for each figures. And for this set, kind of like the new figure in here is Bruce Banner. The rest of these figures basically been released earlier, like Hawkeye and Thor from the I think Walmart exclusive Avengers movie action figures. And we know that Black Widow came from the Captain America Winter Soldier wave, with just different trims. You have the blue trims from the Age of Ultron, where her suit has kind of like a power on or something like that makes it glow. And now that I look at it, Bruce Banner is actually the base body is what they've been using for Coulson, and the most recent one for Chameleon, kind of similar body, kind of like the suited base body. So yeah, but other than that, it's pretty exciting, because I never had any of the figures from the previous Avengers movie figures, so I'm pretty excited to have these. So let's go ahead and take these guys out of the box. So here are the figures straight out of the package, and as you can see, they look pretty good. I actually did a quick preview of this set when I went to San Diego Comic-Con. I actually had a video of that too, and my first impression on this set was pretty good. But now that I have this right in front of me, I'd say my impression on this hasn't changed. They still look good, and the only thing I could say is that some of the joints, like the legs and out of the packaging, are kind of bent. So like, if for example, if you look at Bruce Banner, you could kind of see that his leg is kind of like not straight. It's kind of like arcing opposite, so it looks kind of awkward, him standing. The same thing for Hawkeye, but the way he's standing right now, you don't really notice it, but in certain angles you could kind of see that his leg is a little bit bent. But those are things that you could fix later on, doing the blow dryer, and then cooling it off, shaping it first and then cooling it off, and that will normally do the trick. But yeah, let's just look at the figures individually, and then I'm gonna put like close-ups, so you could kind of see what the detail is. So let's do Hawkeye first. So Hawkeye comes with the quiver and the bow. Again, this is pretty similar to the Walmart exclusive Avengers Hawkeye. So detail wise, it's pretty similar. I think there might be some, just a little bit of variation on the paint maybe. I don't have that figure, so I can't really have, you know, a comparison to that. But you know, and also, you know, if you guys own this figure, the previous figure, then you'll already know the articulation of this figure. But for those people who are just, you know, picking them up right now, you know, articulation is pretty good. You know, you heads go, you know, it goes back and forth. You know, kind of like the standard, you know, Marvel Legends articulation. You get double jointed, you know, bends at the elbows. You know, the wrist rotates. You got ball jointed, you know, in the shoulder, so you can, you know, do pretty much a lot of movement with Hawkeye. You know, you got the ab crunch. The ab crunch doesn't really go as, you know, that far. You know, you got the ball jointed at the hip. He doesn't have that normal hip swivel, but you know, that shouldn't be bad. And then you have the upper thigh, you know, swivel there, and then you get the double jointed the knee again, and then on the ankle, you know, you have that kind of standard forward and back, and kind of like the side to side, you know, movement. So pretty good. The only thing that I noticed here is that, you know, the quiver, the hole, you know, this part right here doesn't really go all the way in, and you know, I actually want that. It would have been nice if that's kind of like all the way in, so you don't see kind of like a gap, you know, kind of like that. You know, it would be nice if that goes all the way in, but fortunately it doesn't. I mean, if you know, in this, you know, in this look right here, it doesn't really matter. But I know, it's just for me, you know, when I look at the side, I just don't like to see that little protruding piece in there. All right, so let's look at Bruce Banner real quick. So Bruce Banner is the again, the kind of like the new figure in this set. So articulation wise, again, pretty standard. You get the double jointed elbows, you got the wrist articulation. You also have the standard joint, ball joint at the shoulders. The only thing is, because this is a suited figure, so this part right here is, you know, when you go try to like lift his arms, you can't really do it because it's being blocked by this piece right here. It just doesn't go all the way in there. So that's kind of like the most that you could do in terms of like lifting the arms. So kind of like a 45-degree angle. That's the most you could do. In the head, you know, you could do, you know, left to right, kind of like standard. You know, he doesn't really go look up that much because that part right there, you know, the hair kind of hits the back neck already, so not much of articulation, but you could do side to side. He does have an ab crunch, and amazingly, he has a pretty good ab crunch. If you know, if you could kind of see that, I mean, you probably have a better ab crunch than some of the you know, the some of these kind of like Spider-Man, for example. You know, because he could do that. Yeah, it's pretty good. He also have a hip swivel, so that's actually pretty good, pretty articulated. And then, you know, got that standard crotch right there with the ball jointed connection, and then you also have the swivel at the upper tie, and then double jointed knee, and then of course the standard um, ankle swivel and side to side. All right, and actually the paint on the face, let me see if I could focus. There you go. Actually, it's not that bad. At least it doesn't have like a derpy looking eyes. So yeah, the paint apps on this figure is actually pretty good. You know, I don't see any bad or bad QC in terms of the paint application. All right, so yeah, it's a pretty good figure to have. Then next is Black Widow. I think the, let me see if I could focus right there. Actually, the face, you know, and the eyes actually is not that bad. You know, I've seen worse in terms of face painting. And the hair is actually pretty good too. It's you know, you have that kind of like the black detailing, and then you know they highlighted with the kind of like the red, so kind of pops out. Actually pretty good. I like the way they did that. Again, this is a pretty standard figure because this is just a re-released base body you know, Black Widow from the Captain America Winter Soldier wave. So articulation wise pretty similar, but just to recap, you know, you got pretty good articulation in the shoulders. You could do that kind of pose. She does have a ab crunch, but you can't really do much because this chest part right here just bumps. I mean, yeah, there's really no much room in there, so it's kind of, you know, unfortunate there. And then you have she doesn't have any swivel on the hips, kind of like standard for the females, no hip swivel. And then you have the ball jointed at the legs, and then you have an upper swivel, so you can do that. The only thing in here is that this holster is attached all the way to the guns, which by the way is not usable. It's just molded in. So again, you know, that's been kind of like the one of the complaints by a lot of collectors, that you know they have this, but she can't really use that gun because it's stuck in there. It's just molded in. And then again, you know, it's a part of the holster, so like even turning this thing, you know, the legs, you know, to swivel it, it's already you know, being hindered by this, so you can't really go much further than, you know, a little bit of, because then you're gonna have some weird movements gonna happen in this part right here. So that's about it. Yeah, and then you have the double jointed knee, and then you have that, you know, standard, you know, front back action on the legs, as well as left, you know, kind of like side to side. So she's, you know, pretty articulated, except for that ab crunch right there. All right. Oh, okay, well, here's what the back looks like. All right. And Thor, actually very excited about this figure. It's probably, even though he's a, you know, a rehash figure, but I never had a movie figure. So if you could look at his facial, it's actually not that bad either. You know, you can kind of see the detailing on the beard. Again, the hair is pretty good because they did some highlights in there, so it's just not one of those things where it's just a molded hair with, you know, just the molded plastic color. This one is actually painted, so you kind of see a little bit more detailing, with the highlights. And yeah, I mean, paint wise, it's pretty good. I mean, the quality on the paint app is actually A plus. Well, not A plus, but I'll say A. I don't see any you know paints that's going anywhere that's not supposed to. I mean, the trimmings are tight and clean. So I also like this cape, actually, probably better than the capes that we've been getting from the which is kind of soft. This one is actually kind of hard. So when you actually stand him, because it goes all the way, pretty much all the way down to his feet, so it kind of help um, support for standing. So he's probably a very stable figure to stand. um, and he comes with, of course, his trusted hammer right here. Again, paint is pretty good. You kind of see some good detailing. And articulation wise, the heads move, but like with this kind of hair, you won't be able to really do much because it just gets in the way. So you just have to live with that. The arms are actually ball jointed connection. You could lift it up like that, kind of like 90 degrees. You can lift it up like that. Now the only thing that I'm having issues in here is that when you put it down, this is kind of like the farthest that you could go in terms of bringing these arms towards the body, because it's being hindered again with that piece of on that. You can kind of see it there. It ends there. It doesn't go all the way there. So that's as far as you can go downward on both sides, which is kind of unfortunate, because it's hard to make kind of like a relaxed pose with this kind of like in this type of position, because that's more of like an action, almost like it's starting to battle or something like that. Not like and if it's like kind of like closer to the body, then you can have him more on a relaxed pose. So yeah, that's kind of like one of my issues with this figure. Yeah, he does have ab crunch, which is not bad. If you go like that, he could kind of like have his chest out, and actually pretty good ab crunch. Obviously there's no hip swivel. You do have these legs that actually for a figure that has this kind of almost like a it's not a skirt, but like something that goes all the way down like this. A lot of the times it hinders the articulation on the hip area, but this was made so that you have this little slit on both sides, so you could actually at least go as far as that stance, which is good, because that's good for when you do some action pose. It's good to be able to do a wide stance. And you have a upper swivel on the upper thigh, a swivel there, so you could do some stuff there. Of course, double jointed knee, and the standard up and down, and kind of like left to right on the foot or the ankle. So yeah, so that's about it. I mean, again, this set of figures is available right now at Amazon. I received this set yesterday, but I did pre-order them way back in maybe May or June before Comic-Con. So that's the reason why I was able to get this faster. Plus I have Amazon Prime, so 1-day shipping. All right, well, I'm gonna take some pictures with this set along with my other Avengers, so you'll be able to see kind of a comparison of how the whole team looks like. All right.